I have good news, Chiefs Kingdom. We did a like battle for the entire month of June between our fellow AFC West channels, and I'm pleased to report by the hairs on my chinny chin chin, we're able to win the like battle with 2,069 likes. Broncos Breakdown 2,064. Raiders Report with 2,055. Great work, everybody. Thanks for holding things up and doing your part and proving me right when I said that you guys were up for the challenge, that you were going to take down the Raiders and Broncos and prove why we have the best fans in the AFC West and across the National Football League. Folks, let's run up the score a little bit. Like the video. Let's keep it going. All right, let's not slow down. Now is not the time to back down by any stretch of the imagination. Hit that like button. We'll get started with this edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Could Tyreek Hill make a return to the Kansas City Chiefs? Welcome in to the Kansas City Chiefs Report, powered by Chat Sports. I am your fearless leader, Tyler Jones, here with you. Thanks for joining us. We got some new rumors to get to on the potential return of the Cheetah to the place he once called home, Kansas City. The Miami Dolphins earlier this week traded away corner Jalen Ramsey, and there's been a lot of discussions over the last couple of months about the Dolphins moving on for both Ramsey and Tyreek Hill. And so now that they've moved on from Ramsey, is Tyreek Hill next? He has made it known he has not been happy. He has talked about being traded in the past. Could this be a possibility now that the Dolphins move on from him and potentially send him back to Kansas City? Well, here was Tyreek Hill's reaction on X to the news that the NFL put out that the Dolphins were finalizing a trade involving Jalen Ramsey, and he posted a meme. It was a GIF from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air of the house just being empty all of a sudden. Is that Carlton? I'm not sure exactly. I haven't watched much of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, to be honest with you, but you get the idea. He's like, where did everybody go? Things are changing around here. Well, people are talking now about a potential trade and the possibility of Tyreek Hill heading back home to Kansas City. DraftKings Sportsbook tweeting out time to go back where it all started, along with this photo of Tyreek Hill in a Chiefs uniform. Is it possible that Tyreek could come back to Kansas City? Well, let's be clear. Tyreek isn't happy with his situation in Miami. And I'll be honest, he's got no one to blame but himself for this. He could have stayed with the Kansas City Chiefs, but he wanted to get paid, and he went to Miami, got some sun, had a few kids, enjoyed life out there, and he's been cashing those paychecks. He's been enjoying living in a state with no income tax and all that, but he's got no playoff wins to show for it. Meanwhile, the Chiefs have been to 3 straight Super Bowls, and they've won 2 of them without him. I think for Tyreek, Kansas City's always going to be home. One day he's going to be in the Ring of Honor. I think that he is still well-liked and respected. I know that he said some things that kind of rub people the wrong way, but I think he will always be one of us no matter what. I think it isn't impossible, the idea of Tyreek coming back to Kansas City. But at this point in time, it would seem that it is highly unlikely that it is going to occur. Now, here's how it could potentially happen. I know that Kansas City doesn't have a ton of cash to spend, but if they want Tyreek Hill, they can make it work. Let me explain why. The Dolphins will pay Tyreek Hill a $1 million roster bonus. Then, if he were to be traded, a new team would then take on a $15.85 million roster bonus. Hill would have about $10 million in base salary, and he would also get a $1.8 million in potential per game roster bonus for 2025, and there is no guaranteed money beyond 2025. So essentially, if you're the Kansas City Chiefs, you could rework his deal to make this work for you and bring Tyreek Hill back home to Kansas City if you decide to go that route. Now, what would it take? What type of player are you potentially getting? We'll discuss that here in a moment. But first, let's ask you, should the Chiefs bring home Tyreek Hill? Type T for trade, P for pass. Way in the comments section. Tell us if you think the Chiefs should bring back Tyreek Hill or not. Folks, want to make sure you're subscribed to the Kansas City Chiefs Report, the most interactive Chiefs channel around, as we're bringing you our daily news and rumors. We have live shows each and every Tuesday, breaking news. If there's a trade for Tyreek, I don't care where I'm at in the world. We're going live here on the channel, folks, to react to it. We got it all covered here at the Kansas City Chiefs Report. We're bringing you sometimes 2 or 3 videos a day on the channel. You ain't alive if you ain't subscribed. I want at least 20 new subs off today's video. Best part about it, doesn't cost you a thing. 100% free. YouTube.com/ChiefsTV. Subscribe now. Join the family. You'll be glad you did. The resume for Tyreek Hill is outstanding. He will be in Canton someday as a first ballot Hall of Famer, an 8-time Pro Bowler, a 5-time first-team All-Pro. He led the NFL in receiving yards. He was the co-leader in receiving touchdowns in 2023, won a Super Bowl with the Kansas City Chiefs, and was also named to the NFL's 2010s All-Decades team. Now, this past season was a bit of a down year for Tyreek Hill. He wasn't what he used to be, but even with that said, Tyreek Hill is still great, and he still has plenty left to offer for the Kansas City Chiefs, or any team for that matter, if he were to move on and play elsewhere outside of the Miami Dolphins. You look at his statistics, that 2023 season was off the charts. Nearly 1,800 yards, 13 touchdowns. Last year, he played in all 17 games, but his numbers were down quite a bit as he was limited to 81 catches, 959 yards, and 6 touchdowns. But I do think you have to take into account that Tua missed a lot of time last year. The quarterback play when Tua was out was not very good at all for the Miami Dolphins, so that kind of hurt Tyreek Hill's numbers quite a bit in 2024. The other thing with Tyreek Hill is the ability to open up this offense. Granted, things have worked out pretty good for the Kansas City Chiefs without Tyreek Hill since his departure. But the offense has been totally different without Tyreek Hill. They have basically moved on from the deep passing game. They are not stretching the field vertically even close to the same way that they were before. And it's because of 2 reasons. One, they don't have a receiver like Tyreek Hill in what he offers. But 2, we've seen that more defenses are playing 2 and 3 high safety looks and trying to avoid getting beat downfield by Patrick Mahomes in that deep passing threat. We've heard Patrick Mahomes himself say, hey, I want to open up the passing game again. I want us to be more explosive. And if you want to do that, there's no better way to do that than bringing back a guy like Tyreek Hill, run the wasp play and all that stuff again. It would be fantastic if they could potentially make it happen. What's your favorite memory of Tyreek Hill and his time in Kansas City? For me, it's got to be the wasp play. That was unbelievable in that Super Bowl against the Niners many years ago. That's my favorite memory. What is your favorite memory from Tyreek Hill's time in Kansas City? Way in the comment section, let us know. Patrick Mahomes jerseys are on sale now with free shipping, my friends. Chatsports.com/Mahomes is where you can get these jerseys. We have men's and women's, also kids options available, all sorts of different shapes and sizes, and a variety of jerseys to choose from. The home, the away, got some Super Bowl patches. We got something for everybody. We also have other Chiefs merchandise available at that same link. Go see for yourself now. Chatsports.com/Mahomes is where you can get yours today. Free shipping available. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. That's chatsports.com/Mahomes to get yours now. So another thing with Tyreek Hill, with him being older and with the money that he's been paid, his trade value has gone down significantly from what it was when Kansas City initially traded him to the Miami Dolphins. Right now, you're looking at Tyreek Hill being worth about a 2026 third-round pick. And if you're the Chiefs, man, that might be something where you're saying to yourselves, we get one of the best players in football that's going to change our offense completely, and all we have to give up is a third-round pick. That would certainly be tempting. With that said, though, Tyreek Even Tyreek Hill is a luxury. All right? It is not something that you have to do. I think we look at some of these situations of trades or free agent signings across the NFL and we're saying, hey, this has to happen for this team. They need to go make this deal and get it done. This is not something the Chiefs have to do by any stretch of the imagination. They have been fine without him over the last few seasons, even as they've adjusted this offense. Would he make this offense better? Of course, Tyreek Hill would. Absolutely. It would make this offense unstoppable. But even with that said, I think this wide receiver group that the Kansas City Chiefs have is just fine. And they might even have the options internally to be able to get back to the passing game that they want to see. Xavier Worthy coming off a strong second half of the season. Hollywood Brown is fully healthy now. Rashee Rice also fully healthy. He was looking like a top 10 receiver before he got hurt last year. You bring in the rookie Jalen Royals. You still got Juju Smith-Schuster here. And I'm just expecting big things out of Rashee Rice. Is Rashee Rice Tyreek Hill? Hell no, he's not. I don't think we'll ever live in a world where Rashee Rice is as good as Tyreek Hill. But that's okay. They're totally two different types of receivers. But even with that said, I think with Worthy and along with Hollywood and even Jalen Royals, you have opportunities potentially to stretch the field. Will it be as effective as the Tyreek Hill days? Probably not. But I think that this receiving core is the best it's been since Tyreek left. Who is going to be the Chiefs' leading receiver this season? Will it be Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, or Travis Kelce? Type RR for Rashee Rice, type XW for Xavier Worthy, type TK for Travis Kelce. In the comments section, let us know what you think. Appreciate you joining us here on this edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report. If you enjoyed today's show, you want to run up the score a little bit, you already know what to do. Hit that like button. We certainly would appreciate it. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for stopping by and joining us here on this edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report. We will see you next time.